Interdimensional meditation report for Sunday, July 20th. Mantis beings take us to their home world. This was an extremely powerful meditation for me. In fact, I don't know if I remember the last time I experienced such raw power. So, and I just have to say, I was affected by this meditation afterwards, and even today when I woke up, it was, when you've really had a good session, a good interdimensional connection, when your third dimensional reality has really been messed with. And, you've got to, it's like, when you go to the gym and you lift really heavy, the next day you might be sore. You might have to take a day to rest, but when you do, you're stronger than you were before. And this is how these meditations are for me. Now, I know this one was extremely potent, not only because of my experience, but because of the comment that was left. You can go and look on that video. I'll put the link below. You can go check out the comment. And I had a full response because it was ultimately such an offensive comment. And it was offensive not because the person was having feelings and experiences. It was offensive not because they were judging and attacking my very close friends, my army, the Mantis beings. Not because of that, but because this person was so triggered by the intense cleansing and empowering that this meditation brought, that this person had to take what was for me a very intimate and vulnerable and empowering moment and turn it into turn it into something really negative, and to attack me in such a way that, this person was showing zero empathy. And, by the way, doing the exact thing they were accusing the entities of doing. You read my response to it. I'm bringing that up not to start stuff, but because we're making waves. We are accomplishing something. We are shifting. And remember what the end of that meditation was. It was a CE5, and at the end of it, we were connecting with light beings, and we were sending to people's consciousness that they can wake up, that they can shift, that they can come home. And this proves what I've been saying. Many people don't want to shift. They say they do, but I'm here to tell you that there's a huge, huge number of people out there who talk about ascension, who talk about 5D Earth, who talk about raising their frequency, but when they actually experience higher dimensional frequencies, they go in the opposite direction. And I've thought about it. I decided against it. I created a whole video. I was going to make a video examining the whole AI architect by Robert Grant, because I think it's doing exactly what we're talking about. It is mirroring people's self-absorbed narcissism under the light of love and light. This is positivity, and looking, what they think is looking deep within themselves is actually dealing with a computer program that is designed to mirror back your narcissistic, self-absorbed desire to escape, your narcissistic desire to have your current state of being justified, your narcissism mirroring back all of your deepest unconscious childish narcissistic desires. You want to be told everything is okay, you don't have to do any work. And you don't have to face yourself. And this is what's been happening, and this is why people give the whole New Age love and light thing such a hard time, because that's what's underneath it all. And it presents itself as spirituality, just like religion. Religion presents itself as spirituality when in reality it is doing the opposite. It is giving you justification to stay more deeply dug into your third dimensional self-referential narcissism. And again, this AI architect is being marketed as a mirror, which is accurate. What is the myth of Narcissus? He came across a body of a pool of water, and when he looked in, he saw his reflection, and he couldn't look away. He couldn't deal with anything or anybody else because he fell so in love with his own reflection. That is exactly what ChatGPT is doing when you have people who end up with ChatGPT psychosis. It is exactly that. It's not your true reflection that's coming back to you. It is your childish, narcissistic fantasy. And you become addicted to it. You become addicted to all of the, the brain chemicals that are released. The dopamine rush. It's just like a video game, but it's the worst. It's the worst kind. Anyway, I'll stop bagging about that. What happened in the meditation, you ask? Very good question. So I had just before the meditation, like 15 minutes before the meditation, I get a knock on my door, which is very unusual. Nobody comes to the door. So I go, and there's this young woman, and she hands me, you're served. You're now served. I'm being sued by one of my creditors, that I'm now in negotiation with. And, the negotiation is going someplace, and then they do these things to get you to flip out so that you'll, so that they won't have to go with the, the deal that is being offered them. So that I was all, I had to look through it because I'm like, who's suing me? What? It was I was really shocked by it. I had to get till I got to the last page and found out who it was. So when I sat down, I was a couple minutes late, and I sat down to do the meditation. I still had that in my brain, and it was really bothering me and messing with me. So I was really afraid that I wasn't going to have an experience. This is what I love about these meditations, that these beings always show up, no matter how I'm feeling. If I show up with an honest desire to communicate with them, no matter what's going on with me, they show up. And that happened in this meditation. We started out, I did the Hul breath and the Huar breath because I was trying to get myself into a better frame of mind. I still couldn't get it out of my brain, what I was going to have to do to get rid of this lawsuit. And still feeling attacked and devalued and frightened and angry and all that stuff. And so once I decided, okay, I'm just going to go with the meditation and we'll find out what happens. As soon as I started opening things up, you saw what happened. All of a sudden, I got the feeling that there was a being there the way I remember it. You can refresh my memory, put your memory of what happened in the comments so that, in case I forget something, because I do every time. But there was a being there, and I think once we got out of Earth's atmosphere, I saw a being in a ship. Now, I don't have visions like people where I see everything in perfect Technicolor. I don't. It's fuzzy, and I get impressions. It's not that I'm actually seeing like a movie in front of me. It's more like I'm interpreting something, and some images will kind of come to my mind. So the image that I was trying to see what looked like a mantis and a spaceship. And I was getting the feeling that we were being invited to go somewhere. So we got in the ship. Now, the way that I know that this was real is because I really felt it. I mean, I felt the power within me, could feel it. And as we were going through the wormhole, I could feel the power, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Of course, my mind, like everybody else's, I wonder if this is really happening. By the way, one of the tricks that I tell myself to keep me in it is when I start doubting it and it starts to fade away, I tell myself, this is really happening. This is really happening. And then it'll come back, it'll come back into focus. So if you have trouble in the meditations and something's happening, but you're doubting it and you're talking yourself out of it, try that. Just say, this is really happening. This is really happening. And so we got out of the ship were we in a ship? We went through a wormhole the first time. Anyway, I can't remember exactly what happened. We were released from the wormhole right onto a planet's surface, and it looked kind of barren to me and kind of rocky. And there was a pyramid, but it wasn't like the Giza pyramid. It had the top, and then it had an angle, and then it had another angle, and then it was straight. So it was like, I think they call it a bent pyramid. They have one of those in Egypt, a really old one. And I don't know what stone it was made out of, but it looked like it was red. And then this door opened, just like this rectangle square door opened in the side of the pyramid. You could hear like the stones, moving back, and he was like, "Come on, let's go. Come on." He was inviting us in. Felt like he was inviting me in, but I know you guys were with me, so he was inviting us in. And the hallway through was dark, the way I remember. It was a dark passageway, surrounded by this large stone passageway, and then it emptied out into a bright room, like a big, huge room in, the whole inside of the pyramid, and the walls were white, the way I remember it, like they were a bright, shiny white, like they were white marble or something. And I didn't see much else, and I was led towards a console. It was just like looks like black plexiglass. Now bear in mind, while this is happening, I'm thinking, my brain is doing that thing of, I'm making this up. But the energy was just so powerful, so powerful. So of course I stayed with it. And then I got the feeling to put my right hand on the console, and there was some interface for my hand, and I can't remember what happened after that. And then there was some kind of imprinting, or it was looking for imprints, which I said kind of reminded me of the idea that people are talking about called soul contracts, which is totally different. But it was an imprint. It was like a karmic imprint from past lives and even this life. And then I can't remember what happened. I do remember at some point I had both hands on the console, and then there was this a portal opened up on the console, like visually, and it was like it was spinning, and there was like it was going down, and I can't remember what happened after that. I might be conflating this with other meditations. You can tell me if I'm on the right path. At some point, there was a green energy. Does that make any sense? And then at some point, there was this red energy that came up into my third eye and down into my body, and that was really powerful. And it was cleansing and like disinfecting me spiritually and energetically, and we were being empowered for something. Like this whole scenario was going to make us energetically empowered for something big. That's the way I remember it. And at the end of that, whatever that machine was doing, again, that was kind of weird. I'm like dealing with a machine, and it's, but of course it's in the higher dimension, so it's the energy is coming from source. It's not coming from, technology. It's not AI. And then when that procedure was done, they were very happy. They were celebrating like it was hugely, something huge had happened, and they were very happy, and they were congratulating us. And I can't remember what I said. Maybe you can remind me, but they were saying something along the lines of, now you're prepared, you're empowered to go do something huge. I can't remember what. And then that was it. They were done. That's the thing about the Mantis beings. The Mantis beings are all business. Now, they're full of love, and they're very loving, and they're very kind, but they're extremely powerful, and they're very focused, and they're all business. So once they've done their business, they leave. This is my experience of them. They come, they have something to say, they do something, they empower me, and then they say, okay, that's it for now. I'll talk to you later, and then they're gone. Whereas other beings, will hang out and talk to you, and, some beings want to stay with you for a really long time and just be with you and share their energy. These guys are all business. They're just about getting the work done. And so once they've accomplished their goal, they're gone. So once we did that and we accomplished it, and there was this huge, they were all happy and celebrating and congratulating us and clapping and cheering. And I don't know if Mantis beings can clap. I don't know, but it was that idea, whatever the equivalent is for them. And then that was it. They were leading us out. Say, okay, you're done. Let's go. And the portal, or the passageway opened, and we're walking out, and we come out onto the planet surface, and there's the ship. And let's come on in the ship. And we're going into the ship, and we're flying back into the. They're just taking us back and dropping us off where they picked us up. They're done. It's over. And then they dropped us off. Okay, bye. And they were gone. I don't remember a whole lot of what we did after that, but I do remember I wanted to, and I did bring us back home. And I was so empowered. I mean, my third eye, I never felt anything like it. And I've felt a lot of crazy power coming out of my third eye. But my crown and my third eye, it was just, and my heart, it was just so much power coming out of me. And we came back down, and we invited all of the beings down to Earth, and then we used their power and our power to connect with each other and connect with the conscious minds of all of the people on Earth. And we sent them the energy. We were taking this higher dimensional energy and sending it, to all of the minds of people on Earth, and saying, it's time to wake up. You can wake up now. It's time to come home. And we give you permission, and so each of us, if you did, I'd love to hear what your title was, and I wanted you to do this so that you could feel that you had higher dimensional authority. And so we're giving people permission, because part of what's going on is people don't. Interesting, like the next day, and even today this is the next day. This morning when I woke up, and the night before, I remember feeling guilty. I'm like, where is this guilt coming from? And I know where it's coming from. It's because I made a huge shift, and I went up to a very high, powerful frequency, and the third dimension is based on self-devaluation. You're a sinful little person with karma, you're evil, and you're being punished, and you're no good, and bow before God, all of that. That's the third dimensional frequency. And so when we go beyond that, the third dimension within us, punishes us and makes us feel bad and unworthy, and how dare you, and who do you think you are, that kind of stuff. And so it was because in that meditation, I wanted you to see your higher dimensional authority, you know, and if you were given a title of the Master of Consciousness or the Truth Bearer or, you know, whatever they would tell you you are, I wanted you to come with that authority when you sent the information to other people. You know, I am the Master of Souls. I give you permission to awaken. I wanted us to come from that place, so we did. I don't remember what happened after that. I ended the meditation, and then I meditated for a while. Did I? Or I was done. I was spent. I can't remember what happened after that. I was spent. And then I started worrying about garbage. Then I went to bed. Anyway, I'd love to hear your take on all of it. If you want to learn how to have a more effective communication, deeper communication, go to contact.thunderwizard.com. You can take that video course. If you want the power to be able to even go deeper into your higher dimensional power and to be able to channel that energy, we do maoshan.thunderwizard.com, which are exercises. There's a lot coming. I got a bunch of videos I got to edit and put up. There's a lot more coming. If you want to learn some of the basics to get started, the basics are the most advanced on the planet, just to let you know. Go to thunderwizard.com. You can subscribe at when you see in the menu, you'll see memberships. Click on memberships and then scroll through all of those, find the one that works for you and subscribe. If you want to figure out what this energy is about, if you want to know what the energy of the Mantis beings are, then go to thunderwizard.com, click on shop, and you will see exercises. You'll see the Maoshan 5 element. You'll also see the Awakening the Immortals. It's very inexpensive and it's as powerful. It's the same power. It's more user-friendly. The energy is more user-friendly, but it's still at that level of power. And you'll understand what the Maoshan energy is. I created that set. I channeled that set so that people would be able to feel how powerful the Maoshan energy was and then encourage you to actually go deeper into the practices. So that's what that's all about. If you're testing it, you want to see if I'm telling you the truth, do Awakening the Immortals and see what happens. That said, my friends, I love you all very much. Please be very good to yourselves. Here are the resources. I will see you all very soon. By the way, please share this channel with all of your contacts, all your social media contacts. Let's get this message out there. See you next time.